Everything you know about crocodiles is wrong. Well, not wrong. Incomplete. See, modern crocodiles are ambush predators. They lurk in fresh water, covered in armor plating, waiting for something stupid enough to drink from their river. They need land to nest. They need fresh water to survive. They've been doing this for 200 million years because it works. But 150 million years ago, one lineage of crocodiles looked at that winning formula and said, what if we deleted all of it? No armor, no fresh water, no land, ever. 4.5 meters long, up to 2 tons of smooth, streamlined muscle. A skull so short and brutal that when scientists finally found it complete in 2005, they had only one word for it: Godzilla. This is Dakosaurus, the crocodile that hunted the deep sea. The story begins with a case of mistaken identity. When the first Dakosaurus teeth were discovered in Germany in the mid-1800s, paleontologists took one look and classified them as Megalosaurus, a land-dwelling dinosaur. The teeth were that large, that curved, that serrated. They looked like they belonged to something that chased prey through forests, not something that swam. It took until 1856 for Friedrich von Quenstedt to realize the truth and establish the genus Dakosaurus, from the Greek dakos, meaning biter. He wrote that few creatures could match its terrible teeth. Whew, he had no idea how right he was. But the real breakthrough came a century and a half later. In 2005 and 2006, researchers in Argentina's Neuquén Basin uncovered something unprecedented: complete skulls of a species they named Dakosaurus andiniensis. And those skulls were wrong. They were short where they should have been long, tall where they should have been flat. They looked less like a crocodile and more like someone had grafted a tyrannosaur's head onto a dolphin's body. The media called it Godzilla. The name stuck because it was accurate. Dakosaurus belonged to Metriorhynchidae, the only crocodile family in Earth's history to completely abandon land. These weren't crocodiles that occasionally swam. These were crocodiles that could never return to shore. And Dakosaurus was the most extreme of them all. Their fossils appear across Europe and South America, proof that they migrated freely through the ancient Hispanic corridor, a seaway connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific. For roughly 20 million years, from the late Jurassic to the early Cretaceous, these creatures ruled waters that no crocodile before or since has ever claimed. But to understand why Dakosaurus earned its nickname, you need to see what it sacrificed, and what it gained in return. Here's a number that should bother you: 0. That's how many bony armor plates, osteoderms, covered Dakosaurus. 0. Modern crocodiles are essentially armored tanks. Their backs are studded with interlocking bone shields that can stop predator teeth, boat propellers, and the occasional bullet. This armor is so iconic that it defines what we think a crocodile is. Dakosaurus had none of it. Fossil evidence from Germany, published in 2021, confirms that Metriorhynchidae had completely smooth skin. Not reduced armor, not thinned armor, smooth. Like a dolphin, like a shark, like something that had decided armor was a luxury it couldn't afford. And the trade-off makes brutal sense. Armor is heavy. Armor creates drag. Armor is fantastic if you're an ambush predator waiting motionless for prey to stumble within range. But if you're chasing down marine reptiles in open water, armor is a death sentence. So Dakosaurus deleted it. The limbs went next. Those stubby crocodile legs, perfect for crawling onto riverbanks, transformed into flippers. The front pair became steering paddles. The rear pair shrank to near uselessness. And the tail? The tail became the main event. A hypocircle fin shaped like a shark's but inverted, with the lower lobe extending further than the upper. Pure thrust generation. This creature could never walk on land again. Couldn't even drag itself onto a beach. That option was gone forever. But Dakosaurus gained something in return: the ability to drink the ocean itself. Enlarged salt glands in its skull allowed it to filter seawater, excreting excess salt through specialized ducts. It never needed fresh water, never needed to return to rivers. The entire ocean was its habitat. And here's the detail that elevates Dakosaurus from interesting to terrifying. It ran warm. Isotope analysis of tooth enamel reveals body temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius, 77 to 90 Fahrenheit, consistently higher than the surrounding water. Not fully warm-blooded like a mammal, but warm enough. Warm enough for sustained pursuit. Warm enough to hunt in cold water. Warm enough to be active when other reptiles would be sluggish. So basically, Dakosaurus looked at 200 million years of crocodile evolution and said, "Thanks, but I'll take speed over survival." Bold strategy. But losing your armor only makes sense if you gain something better. And what Dakosaurus gained was horrifying. Most sea crocodiles evolved long, narrow snouts, platorostral skulls in technical terms. Think of a gharial. That shape is perfect for snapping sideways through water to catch fish. Minimal resistance, maximum speed. It's elegant, it's efficient. Dakosaurus went the opposite direction. Its skull was oreanorostral, short, tall, and built like a cinder block. Where other sea crocodiles had needles for faces, Dakosaurus had a battering ram. The proportions are so unusual that when those Argentine skulls surfaced in 2005, paleontologists immediately understood why Godzilla resonated. This didn't look like a crocodile. This looked like someone had taken a theropod dinosaur's head and welded it onto a marine reptile's body. But the shape wasn't aesthetic, it was engineering. Finite element analysis, basically stress testing the skull using computer models, reveals that this design could withstand enormous torsional and bending forces. Translation? Dakosaurus could bite something, then twist violently without its skull deforming or breaking. That's death roll territory. That's the technique modern crocodiles use to rip chunks off prey too large to swallow whole. Except Dakosaurus was doing it in open water, against prey that could swim away, against prey that fought back. This wasn't a skull designed to hold things. This was a skull designed to destroy them. Let that sink in. Every other sea crocodile evolved to catch slippery fish. Dakosaurus evolved to murder things with bones. And then there were the teeth. Remember those teeth that fooled 19th century paleontologists into thinking they'd found a land dinosaur? There's a reason for that confusion. Dakosaurus teeth are zypodont, compressed side to side, with serrated ridges running along both the front and back edges. They look less like crocodile teeth and more like steak knives, like something designed not to puncture, but to carve. But the truly nightmarish feature is the occlusion. When Dakosaurus closed its jaws, the upper and lower teeth didn't just meet, they slid past each other, like scissors, like shears. Most crocodiles have teeth that interlock to grip struggling prey. Dakosaurus had teeth that worked together to cut. Fossil evidence backs this up. Preserved teeth frequently show spalling, chips and fractures at the tips caused by biting into hard material, bone, shell, armor. This wasn't a creature that swallowed prey whole. This was a creature that carved prey into pieces, hardened tissue and all. And there's one more hypothesis that makes Dakosaurus uniquely terrifying: suction feeding. The short skull, wide gape, and jaw mechanics bear suspicious similarity to modern animals that create negative pressure to suck prey into their mouths. Killer whales, certain dolphins, beaked whales. The theory suggests Dakosaurus could rapidly open its jaws to pull prey inward, then activate those scissor teeth for the killing blow. Suction to catch, shearing to kill. A 1-2 combination that nothing in its ecosystem could counter. Quenstedt named this creature Biter in 1856. He understood. In the Vaca Muerta formation of Argentina, where the best Dakosaurus specimens have been found, the ocean floor was a graveyard. Anoxic conditions meant nothing survived at the bottom. The water was dark, still, and dead. But the surface? The surface was chaos. Dakosaurus shared these waters with ichthyosaurs like Kypulosaurus, dolphin-shaped reptiles up to 7 meters long, with other sea crocodiles like Crocodile, with ancient sharks, with ammonites the size of truck tires. And Dakosaurus ate them. The skull, the teeth, the warm blood, all of it pointed toward one dietary specialty: large marine vertebrates. Sea turtles, sharks, other marine reptiles, anything with flesh to shear and bones to crush. This creature was born in the ocean, lived in the ocean, gave birth in the ocean. Evidence suggests Metriorhynchidae were viviparous, delivering live young underwater because returning to land was physically impossible. For 20 million years, this was normal. This was just life. At the top. So here's what evolution built. 4.5 meters of warm-blooded, smooth-skinned predator. A skull that could crush bone and resist any force its prey could generate. Teeth that sliced through flesh like blades through paper. Salt glands that turned the entire ocean into drinkable territory. Flippers and a shark-like tail that provided speed and maneuverability no armored crocodile could match. This was a creature that had traded every defense for pure offensive capability. No armor to protect it, no land to retreat to, just speed, power, and the most devastating bite mechanics any crocodile has ever possessed. Picture it hunting, cruising through the late Jurassic seas, body temperature elevated above the surrounding water, every sense tuned to the environment. An ichthyosaur appears, maybe 5 meters long, fast, built for escape, but not fast enough, not this time. The burst of acceleration, the suction gulp as jaws snap open, the scissor bite as serrated teeth slide past each other, the violent twist as the orinostral skull does what it was designed to do. Flesh separates from bone in the dark water. This is what 50 million years of evolution built. Not a monster, not a fantasy, a solution. The most efficient marine predator the crocodile lineage has ever produced. And then, like everything before it and everything after, it ended. Climate shifts, sea level changes, new competitors emerging. By 137 million years ago, Dakosaurus was gone. The oceans would never see anything quite like it again. Modern crocodiles kept their armor, stayed near shore, played it safe. They're still here, 200 million years later, doing exactly what they've always done. Dakosaurus bet everything on the open ocean, gave up protection for power, abandoned land for limitless hunting grounds. For 20 million years, that bet paid off. We only know it from bones and teeth now, fragments pulled from ancient seafloors, pieced together by scientists who recognized something extraordinary. A crocodile that stopped being a crocodile. A predator that wrote its own rules. The Godzilla nickname was meant to be dramatic. Turns out, it was just accurate. What other prehistoric predators do you think deserve the Godzilla treatment? Drop your suggestions in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time.